The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Well, good evening, and thank you for welcoming me once again into your living room. I am D Nice, and I have a great show for you again tonight. Last week was a smashing success when Dr. K came on and talked about some of the things he could do to help people's health, spiritually, mentally, but especially physically. We had some takers. He's been supporting me for a long time in my health endeavors. And now he's able to reach out and help others. And we have some witnesses on board.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us.
We'll talk about that in a minute, though. But today we also have some great guests for you. And I'm here with my lovely co-host, the youngster in the group. And I keep saying that because she's decades younger than us. But anyway, this young lady has television shows that we have worked with together, radio shows we worked with together, and she's with me over here at the beautiful facilities of Morris Media Studios. Thanks to the poetess for giving us such a warm and beautiful place to work out of. And we also, in our audience today, we're going to recognize Dr. Angie, who we're going to be talking to, that's going to be joining that man that you heard from on Friday with the medical advice to you. It's going to be a great show, Health from the Inside Out, and we're going to be talking more about that later, and we might even get to meet her sometime tonight. Who knows, right? Meantime, she's shaking her head. We put everybody to work around here, and I'm going to tell you. Meantime, in between time, let me introduce this young lady who came out of the DMV. Yes, and that's not the driving place either. That is the East Coast synopsis for where she came from, that little triangle there. This young lady took 4 years of her life and dedicated it to fashion industry, then became a branding and a merchandising head of major companies. And she gave that all up to follow her dream in songwriting and becoming a musician. So she's here, a signed artist, for you to enjoy today. The one and only, help me welcome Miss Bontrue. Bontrue, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So you had a nice little weekend, right?
Yeah, my weekend was good. I stayed on my toes a lot of the time, which was super awesome. I started to try to make my way to Comic-Con in Long Beach. Complex Con in Long Beach, but I didn't get to make it, unfortunately. But my weekend has been really good, and I'm really excited for the weeks ahead of me, because this weekend coming up, I actually have a really cool opportunity to perform on television. Actually, if anyone wants to come out, you can definitely join us at Dame Dash Studios on November 9th. Mm-hmm. Yeah, November 9th is this Saturday, and Memphis Will is a famous host, and he'll be actually hosting a industry comedy showcase. Okay. So it's going to definitely be some good laughs, some good times, and some interesting performances.
No, you heard it here live. Interesting performances right here. So we're looking forward to that, and you guys support this young lady. She's done a lot. And she's so young, okay?
Yes, come to my website, www.bontrue.com, VONTRUE.com, and you could go ahead and click on the link for tickets.
Love it. Also, to my far left, we had the young lady that had the experience of being able to meet with Dr. K today, and she's the founder of Straight Talk.
Yes.
Where she gets people together, gets them revitalized, rejuvenated, and back into society the right way.
Yes, that's right.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I feel so honored and so blessed.
Yes, and you got to see Dr. K today, right?
Yes, I need to get myself regenerated in my health, and he's going to get me regenerated. I'll be coming in here turning a flip one day.
I'm looking forward to that one. We got cameras now.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for showing up, and we're getting ready to have a great show tonight. Mm-hmm. Now, to my left right now, people might recognize this guy from the church. That's a beautiful church. We got to be acquainted to the church through Toastmasters. We did a couple of Toastmasters contests, but I didn't know he was the one running the church. It was very nice. When I walked in, it looked like a log cabin. So I was looking for bears on the wall, all the taxidermist collections, you know what I'm saying? But it was really a nice
renovation.
See? I got to go back. But you still got bears, and you got 1,500 members in there. So somewhere there we got some bears and some other things too, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what we'd like to have.
Thank you very much. So that's what we do. We just bring an open platform and bring to the table those that are doing great things for our community. And young man right here, Pastor Porter, is here to shine some light. Mr. Royce Porter, thank you for coming in and, spending some time, because I know you stay busy, man.
No problem. It's always good to be here.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, you hear something you like, give us a call, 323-293-3375. Our doors are open. Our lines are open. Call us, 323-293-3375. And you can also watch us on television. You can watch us on your iPhones, all your devices at www.morsemedialive.com. That's www.morsemedialive.com. So you have no excuse for being able to be a part of the show today. Call us, let us know about your comments and what you like and what you don't like we really care. But we're here to bless you. Okay. So we're going to start out hearing a little about Pastor Royce Porter. Pastor,
we're starting with me tonight, huh?
Yes, we are. I mean, you're the center of the thing. That's why you're in the middle.
Wow. Wow.
Bring us up to speed a little bit about some of your journey.
Well, look, let's just hit it with, can they see your shirt, Phyllis?
Well, can they see your shirt? Well, can they see it?
There you go, with Toto. There you go.
With Toto.
All right, with Toto. So that was our big deal this past weekend, is that we had the with Total Children's Choir from Uganda that showed up to the church on Saturday. And, we had a great time with the children. And then we were able to have a concert. And the kids just blessed everyone that was in attendance. I mean, from the youngest of 6 years old all the way up. The respect that's there, they call everybody auntie and uncle. Right. Because that's how they were raised and how they are told to communicate with everyone. And so, all of the aunties and uncles got together and we just celebrated those young children that are coming from, some hard times in Uganda. As many of us know, the things that are going on over there. But the beauty of it is that even though these kids have come through some hard times, that they can stand on that stage and they can smile and sing of the love of Jesus and share their story. Right. Many of the kids were able to share their story saying, you know what, my life hasn't been great. I've been in the hospital. I've lost my mother. I've lost my father. But I found Jesus. And once I found Jesus, everything changed. So if those young folks can catch the fire of the Holy Spirit at that young age, it tells us what we can be doing as well. And so it really was a wonderful opportunity. This is our third time hosting them at the church. And the goal for me, all right, now the audience hear this. The goal for me is that we keep bringing the kids here, but I'm ready to go to Uganda. I'm ready to go. And so we want to get a team together to go to Uganda, to go to the Watoto Church and work with the babies and the mothers and the families and really just truly experience what it's all about. So that's what we're looking for.
I love it. And we have some pictures today that we were able to bring in of the event this weekend.
Oh, yes.
And we'll get a chance to see those and enjoy it. So these are the children of...
Watoto.
Well...
Watoto.
Oh, yeah, that's me on stage with them.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's her sharing her story. And this is part of their neighborhoods. One of their programs that they have in Watoto that you can actually get involved with. And this is one of the younger kids in the group. The youngest was 6 years old, and she was just a ball of sunshine. Mm-hmm. And so there you see that the median age of Uganda is 15. Wow. And naming it the world's youngest population, and it's something that we in the States, we would love to have that age in our church.
No kidding.
That's the age we would love to be able to have in a lot of our churches right now. Right. The median age is 15. Mm-hmm. And this is our community choir that we have that meets on Tuesday nights at the church. Anyone that just wants to sing, you show up at the church at 7 o'clock, and there you will have that choir. So you know her.
I'm like, I need to see the face. I need to see the face.
Wow.
Yes. Mm-hmm. She definitely goes to Agape.
Yes, she does.
And a beautiful soul she is. She actually sang it she did her own performance maybe like a week ago and blew the house down. Like it was.
That's what she does every Tuesday night. So you come on out
and get involved.
That's
right.
Yes.
See how you get some members?
There you go. Mm-hmm. Here the kids are ministering again, singing one of their songs, and we just really, and you see on the far. On the outskirts of the kids, there are the older, what we call the aunties that are there that sing with the kids as well.
Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
And there she is. That's the 6-year-old.
Precious.
She is so beautiful.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
You can see God all in her. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So my little 7-year-old just fell in love with every last one of them.
Right.
She was ready to go get on the bus with them.
She was dancing. I saw her dancing in the audience.
she was
dancing. Look at that little one, 6-year-old. Oh my goodness!
Let me tell you something. They taught me some new moves, so you got to come check me out on Sundays. I've got some new moves now when the choir's singing. Amen. Hopefully I won't hurt something. I may have to go see the doctor after I'm done.
That's right.
She's telling her testimony.
Wow.
Ooh, her testimony was powerful. Wow. It would have brought tears to your eyes, but she got rid of her. She got rid of her fear and her doubt, and she got her best friend. Yes. No other than God. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's them singing, as you can see in the background. I'm a child of God.
Oh yeah,
yes,
so happy, so happy.
Right.
Yes. You better believe it. I was there. I drove 60 miles from Corona. I was the first one there. I was there at 5 o'clock. I was not going to miss that.
Your part is
no, I want to see kids that have the Lord in their heart. We need to bring that in our community.
Wow. And that young man there, he actually years ago was in the choir. He actually sang in the choir, and he's grown up, but he now is sharing the story about how he had a sponsor family.
Right.
And so that's one of the ways that you can actually get involved is that you can sponsor some of the kids. And so we as a church have taken on, the youth have a kid they sponsor. His name is actually Kenneth.
Okay.
And so they send, money every year over to Kenneth to make sure that his needs are being met, whatever he would need. And this is a prime example of just growing up in the choir and being able now to give back.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of them on the church stops as they go from church to church throughout the tour. The tour probably lasts about maybe 6 to 8 months, and then they switch over, and so they come to the United States every other year.
Right,
is what they do. So the next time they will come to us will be probably in the later, maybe 2020, but more likely 2021 is when they'll return. And this is, one of the adoptions. So this is when you actually go to Uganda and you're a part of that. Then, you get to see the kids that you've actually adopted.
Right.
And, they become part of the family. I mean, like the one that we've adopted, the picture is, in my office. And, it's just like one of our kids, one of our children.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is just one of the young men too. So one of the highlights for the group was that they said, "Well, we really appreciate the food you served us tonight," and we were like, "Really?" They said, "Yeah, you served us fried chicken."
Wow.
Because they haven't had fried chicken. So they were just so excited to have fried chicken. So we did the whole thing. We served them fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, yams, and then we even gave them cupcakes. And let me tell you something. As they received their food, we had the cupcakes already out. ready for them to take. But none of the children would take a cupcake until after they had finished eating their meal.
Wow. Yeah, that's right.
And nobody told them that. They just knew we can't eat that until after we've completed our meal.
Right.
Can't we bring that home? Can't we bring that home?
No, we need some.
Wow.
We need some kids like that.
Man,
in
do we really?
Oh my God!
Can we do a train?
Oh my
An
God!
exchange?
Oh yeah, they were well behaved. I was there. They were all that was well behaved kids. I had to see that in person.
Right.
You know? Oh my God!
Okay.
I flew out here.
I love it. Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing those photos with us. I mean, that was just very invigorating because, like I said, these kids now. I'll be trying to leave them at McDonald's. I'll be right back.
Oh my God.
I'm just playing, y'all, but hey.
No, you're not.
You know, we've got some kids that don't really respect anything, and that's what the good part about being able to mix and mingle, like the young lady here, our millennial here, and she's getting ready to kick off a millennial show to where she can talk about some of the things with her millennials and trying to help them find a grip because they really don't.
Yeah.
And that's why she stands out, being a young person herself and being able to be so much more than just an age that she carries. You know what I'm saying? Very mature and very astute and very on point. So thanks for joining the crew with your show coming out and being able to talk to these knuckleheads. I'm just leaving it like that.
Well,
And she has a relationship with God. See, a lot of young people, they don't have that relationship. When you have that relationship with God, you can deal with that bullying going around school because nobody won't bully you. No, they'll be saying, I'm not going to mess with that person. No, You don't even have to resort to violence or anything. We need to bring prayer back into the school. That would make a lot of difference. Prayer back in home, into the home.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's roll it into the home. Let's start with the home because some of these kids, some of the parents don't even want you to mention God.
No.
You know, that's why they're having a lot of issues here.
Yeah, the schools have allowed it. They don't want prayer in the church. You know what? We're at a time now to where the dictatorship is alive and well. We've got somebody stood up and say, you know what, I'm the chosen one. And when you find somebody that does that, when that means no regard to anybody but yourself, when you put yourself on that kind of plan. Now, we had another person did that, didn't he? Nebuchadnezzar? Didn't he do something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Well.
Yeah. And the end was not as good as the first. You know what I'm saying? So when you get to that point to where you think you're the man, or you're the woman.
Oh, yeah.
Pride comes before fall.
That's right.
And so that's what me and Pastor, we were talking offline with, man. There's ways that you can spread the word without carrying your soapbox and putting it on every corner with a big megaphone and trying to say, listen to me, this is what I'm doing. You know, in a lot of the households we have now, you've got one parent home and the mother saying, do what I say, not do what I do.
And they're not setting any good examples.
Disconnect. And so when you're in a church, man, to where you've got people there and they're trying to fellowship and raise their awareness in their spiritual walk, and they're being tormented by young people around them that don't even know what Bible study was because they never went. And now they're thrown into adult church and they've missed all that little stepping stone along the way. How do you guys deal with that segment of being able to speak to them and show them in a way? Because like I said, we were talking about coming from behind the pulpit.
Right.
And I like what you do because a lot of ministers, they go in the pulpit and that's the king of their castle as they're putting out their message. And afterwards, you're lucky if you get to shake their hands. I know ones like that. You know what I'm saying? You cannot even get. You got the bodyguards to shift them away and whatever else, and we'll see you next Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious.
Yeah, I know.
And so a lot of people are turning from the church because of the religiosity that abides in the church. It's not a relationship anymore, it's religion. And so how do you deal with that when you come to the fold and you're more or less a guy that's just down to earth? You're like, okay, this is me. You know, how does that work?
Well, it takes time. It takes time, I think, for the congregation to get used to it. But, you know, like we talked about the last time we were here, I think Von True actually mentioned this before. It's being relevant. Right. I think that's where we've missed the mark. You know, prayer in school, they've taken it out. Prayer is not in the home the way it needs to be. But once again, it all goes back to the church. And the thing is that even though prayer has been taken out of school, that doesn't mean that you as an individual cannot pray in school. If that's what you want to do, no one can stop you from praying in school. If the meal is before you and you stop to give God praise and honor before you eat at school, nobody is going to stop you from doing that. the thing is that we've got to be relevant. We've got to take it from outside the church and move it into the community so that everyone is involved. And you got to live it. You know, I tend to always, everyone asks, you know, a lot of times I'll wear bright color shoes or you know, loud color clothes or whatever the case may be, because I want to live out loud. I want to live out loud so that people will see me. And when they see me, I want them to know that there is something different, because that's what God called us to be. When you are anointed, you are set apart. Yes. Therefore, we have to be different than what everybody else is. And that doesn't mean we are Mr. Rogers, where we, you know, walk into the church and put on the little sweater and then we do our thing. And then when we leave the church, we take it off. No, you are who you are all day, 24 hours, 7 days a week. I will never forget. I remember a time where, especially working in youth ministry, where, you know, I would always have a red cup or a blue cup that I would get from the house, and I would pour whatever I'm drinking, my water or whatever the case in it. Right. And one of the youth, you know, saw me driving one day drinking out of this red cup, and they were like, "Pastor, what were you drinking?" And I said, "The same thing you saw me drinking last Wednesday when I was here in Bible study with you. Water out of that cup." But it's the perception. Right, I got It's the perception. And so because the world has a perception of there's other stuff in a plastic cup. There's other stuff wrapped in a brown paper bag. So are you not the same person on Sundays and Wednesday night? Is there a different person? Wow. No, you got to be the same person. And that's what's wrong with our young folks right now. They are looking at the fact and have seen too many, you know, things going on inside the church and seen it outside the church, and they have been turned off from it. Wow. You got to be relevant.
Right. I like that. Now, let me really switch reels for a second, because what I'm finding out that is so relevant, prevalent now in our society, man, is these teen suicides. From bullying and all this other crazy stuff. No matter how it gets there, how do we deal with that? How do we address that? I mean, do these kids even know what suicide really means on the other side? They're just escaping something, correct? Is that what we would look at?
Yeah, I talked to some of the kids. They said they're possessed. Well, I talked to one kid, and she said, "I want to commit suicide because I'm possessed by a devil." She asked her mother, "I need to be baptized. I want to get baptized." Her mother said, "No, you won't be getting baptized. I don't believe in getting baptized." She said, "Well, maybe this might prevent me from killing myself." And her mother wouldn't let her get baptized. I said, baby. Wow, that's serious. But, you know, I want to say something. When I visit Crenshaw United Methodist Church several times, and I see the youth there. They well behaved. They love the Lord. We did a big program there, the Gift of Hope. They were there. They were asking questions. Then we had the politician there. They came there. They asked the politician. Holly Mitchell was there in January. They was there, and they were very, very smart. I mean, they were asking some intelligent questions that pertains to their population. You know, with a lot of laws came out. And I know when I go to Crenshaw United Methodist Church, those kids are well behaved. They have the Lord in their heart. And I love to be around kids that put God first in their heart. And that's why I flew down here. I was the first one in the church on Saturday. I was not, God said, be there. I want to see there. I don't want to experience somebody tell me about it. And then I saw the kids, they were working in church. His youth kids was working in church. Wow. They were so nice and so kind. I haven't seen that in a long time in church. Wow. You know, they were working. I said, well, God bless. Oh my goodness, was God. Well, I almost started flipping church. You know what I mean? Wow. I was just so grateful to be there and the witnesses. To see something positive, kids putting God in their heart. They know who their best friend is. Right. And they didn't get paid for it either. No. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You talk about paycheck, folk will do anything, but nowadays they're like, no. But okay, so I appreciate that. But Pastor, just let's go back this for a minute. Like I said, speak on it. The suicide aspect, man, I mean, I don't get it.
We are a world that has walked away from God. And once we have walked away from God, you then are out of the covenant. You're out of the covering. So therefore you are susceptible. All you got to do is go back to Adam and Eve. It's the same kind of scenario. Once they got from up under, were disobedient, they then fell from under, out of the covenant of God, the covering. So therefore they then were susceptible to the enemy that was there to tempt and do all those things. And unfortunately, that is where we are right now.
Yes.
We have walked away from God. And I'm very clear with the fact that we have walked away from God. God has not walked away from us. And I don't believe that God is capable of walking away from us, because Scripture will tell you that he will go and search for the lost coin, the lost son. He will wait. And in fact, Scripture says that in the prodigal son, remember that he was looking out. And as he saw him coming back, he took off and ran to meet him. That's how much God wants to be with us. The problem is that when we are disobedient and we turn our backs, therefore we are susceptible to everything. A lot of times I say this: how long does the sun shine?
All the time, right?
When did it stop shining?
Never stopped shining.
From the time it was put in existence, that sun has never stopped shining. Now, some will say, but no, at nighttime, like right now, it's getting dark early. I'm still confused with that. I'm still not used to this. It's going to probably take me 3 months to get used to it, and then I got to go back to the new time. But when it gets dark, they will say, well, the sun is not shining anymore. No, we turn.
Right.
We turn. And as we turn our back on the sun. It is the same thing with God. When we turn our back on God, therefore we don't receive the sun rays or the blessings that come.
Right.
So therefore, we then are subjected to a lot of the things that are in this world. Depression. When you don't know God, you don't have any hope. So therefore, depression, suicide, alone. We are never alone. How many times did Jesus say in the Scripture, I'll be with you. I'll be with you. Always until the end of the earth.
Right.
So God never wants to leave us. But when we turn our back, we then have to deal with a lot of this. And now it's getting younger.
Right.
It's getting younger. So you now are hearing the fact that kids are committing suicide at young ages because they don't know anymore.
Right.
There used to be the church where at least we would go.
Right.
But now we're not going. So if the adults aren't going, the kids aren't going. So how are they going to know who God is? That's why the church cannot sit inside the walls, and the church has to leave the walls and go outside the walls and meet these young people where they are. We got to go to the schools.
Right.
We got to go to the malls. We have to go to the parks. And we've got to have we've got to be present with them.
Come to their level for real, and really say what you feel will really get to them. Because I can only speak from my experiences, and I was on the edge at one time when I was super a teenager, I was like. But it's more so of a lot of elements that go around, and if you haven't been taught how to deal with all these elements, you're just mind boggled by everything that's going on around you. So that confusion is the devil's playground. So it's like when you're tiptoeing and tatting and that, it's just like you really don't know what to do or think. You know what I mean? I can only speak from my experiences. And personally, I was a very large young girl. I was obese, right? So then I got teased for that in school. I got teased for that when I got home. My mother didn't really have a lot of time for us, so she was always working, trying to put food in our mouths and clothes on our back. So it's just I didn't get the attention that I kind of more so needed. You know what I'm saying? So there a lot of that confusion turned into going down the wrong path and not really understanding myself or understanding life for what it is. And it's truly to get into the proper perception to understand that they're always with you. Our ancestors, our angels, God, they're always with us. There's no matter what. It's just really the fact of being open to receive what is being told to you, because there's signs all around us. There's understanding all around us. It's just being open and awoken enough to perceive, and that's mainly why I dive into my music and really just try to put those messages in my music to really get out there. Like the unseen world is here for you, to help you. You know what I mean? It's not. And the confusion really needs to dilute itself for us to rise above. And that's why it's prime for us to get into the communities and do certain activities with the youth, or else we're really headed for even darker than what's currently happening.
Well, as you say that, this brings up a whole nother subject: the Kanye West.
Wow.
Jesus experience.
Oh my God.
The Sunday experience.
Oh my goodness.
That's going
Oh my God.
But it's relevant. And I know some are going to differ. We might get phone calls in here right now. But like you said, Vantrue, when you get into your music, what is one thing that relates and crosses the bridge? It is music.
Absolutely.
It is music. And when we begin to see what he's doing, Kanye West is doing currently with his music, he's taking something that we in the church are very much accustomed to. He's putting his kind of beats to it, and he's presenting it. And folks right now are listening to his album. I believe that album is moving up the chart as we speak.
Number one.
It is number one at this point in time.
Yeah.
But it is the Sunday experience. It's about Jesus Christ. So it puts the church in a very difficult position of looking at Kanye for who Kanye has been.
Right.
Looking at the music now that he is presenting and that is drawing our young people, because whenever he comes out, I mean, he was at the Forum. I mean, the what is that? Do they still call it the Forum? What do they call it? Is that the Forum?
Yes,
still the Forum.
Still the Forum.
Right. So he had something this past weekend.
Right.
Everybody was there.
Yeah, they
Sold out.
They do that. Got attention.
You know, people idol the wrong people. See, that's why they follow the wrong leader. There's only one God. You know, one experience is God. And that's, you know, when I was young, my mind was sick and I had to pray. I had nobody to call on but God. I saw people kneeling in church. I said, I better get down on my knee and kneel because maybe I can get help. And I wanted God to release my mind, because your mind, when your mind is messed up, you'd be going, I mean, for me, I was going all kinds of ways. Listen to people, these naysayers and whatnot, doubting me, having fear, anxiety, depression, and suffer from mental illness. You know, when I started calling on God, things became a little different.
Absolutely.
A little different here.
It's a magic in the energy also. What he's putting out in that music is a lot of his fans is brand new. Like some of them don't even know what is God. You know what I mean? Like, and he's introducing them to this in a magnificent way because he's doing what he's supposed to. He's walking in his purpose. He's using his platform. Yes, he's using his gift and his platform to really speak to who really needs to hear it. And it's mainly his target market, honestly. You know, and from my personal perspective, I really stay in a state of like kind of forgiveness and understanding. So for what he is and what he's put out and what he's done to get wherever he needs to get out of life, you know, I feel like everyone has a balancing act within their life. You know, everyone has the dark and the light within inside them. Amen. So he's just like truly rising up into what he's really projecting into the universe, which is beautiful.
I think he's a beautiful spirit that he came from it, because I think he really lost it. Those of us that really followed that perspective, he lost it when he lost his mom.
Yes, he did.
He lost something, and then some people can't bounce back from that.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got people always on your back and your ear in your pocket.
Right.
So then when you don't have that balancing act, then you can lose it. Back in the day when Kurt Franklin jumped out and was doing his thing, Kurt Franklin revolutionized bringing that gap closed more so with, you know what I'm saying, the beats and the lyrics with church, with the open minds, and he crossed over.
Yes.
And they call it crossover. But it should never have been a crossover because there were those before him, like Mahalia Jackson and others that were doing gospel the whole time. That were just, so I don't know where did it happen? But we call it what we call it as time changes. But we're still standing even now on the shoulders of somebody else. And so for him to be doing or realizing, you know what, I got to change my way of doing things because I have a platform. He's responsible whether he appends to that platform or not. He will stand on that last day and give an account for what he did. And so in his way of doing things, he can either go the right way or he can go the wrong way. Now, I'm not going to even comment on how many people have taken a fall once they bought into that relationship of that family that has their own matriarch running things, and people that have changed from there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. From Bruce Jenner down. You know what I'm saying? People that have been affected. I'm not trying to say nothing.
We're not going on there. We're not going to go there.
So you can't wallow in things that affect you from the outside. You know what I'm saying? The inertial where you're going to top or whatever's going to spin like it's going to spin, and it will continue unless it's tampered from an outside source. Because it knows what it has to do. So there's a lot of outside sources that are coming upon us nowadays because we know who the author of confusion is. And with this confusion, there's no good work. So his whole weaponry is to keep confusion going with our young people, with our families, with our work environment. Keep us all, and then we got somebody at the top, keeping more confusion because we're trying to figure out where that's coming from, why say that and whatever. You can't buy into that. You got to find your place, your niche, and it's important for those like yourself, Pastor, to say, look, this is a church, but we're not going to do religion in my church. We're doing relationships, and you're talking about relationships. And people don't understand that. Even with day-to-day friends, man, I don't go with that because I know you. I go there saying, where's our synergy? How can we work together? How can we rise together? How can we make money together? How can we fellowship together? And if we can't, and it's only one-sided, you better get out of it. Whether you're in that relationship right now, ladies, men, whether you're in a relationship and they're pulling you to where you don't have any hairs left to turn gray, you've got to pray about it and get out. If you're at a job that you can't go to your job because you're stressed out and have to take meds and whatever, you got to get out. You got to pray about it and move on. No matter what you're going through right now, there is something better. Don't think that you're all there as far as you can go. If you let go, you can let God. If you're holding your hand closed, you can't receive anything in your hand. You got to let it go. And this man is talking about that right now. You got to make a relationship out of the church. You got to come in there and say, I haven't been to church for a while because I didn't like what they did there. And I've met all these pastors and I see them on the outside, okay? And if they're doing the same thing I'm doing, how can you minister to me on Sunday? If I'm sitting there and I'm a single man, I'm looking at a girl like, and my pastor's doing the same thing, I'm going to look kind of crazy. I'm like, okay, we good, Pastor. We good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying we've got to find what's right for us. I can't talk down on nobody. I can't accuse and put a finger in nobody because I got more. But look, if you're not on the vein of fellowship that I'm with, dude, I got to shake you like a bad habit. And so that's what we're talking about, man.
Yeah, and that's why I think for the church right now, we criticized Kirk Franklin when he came out. We now criticize Kanye West when he has come out with his new album. But what is happening is that, just as Andrew is saying, many of his consumers are for the first time hearing anything about Jesus Christ.
Wow.
All he does is do the CD that's out. He does the performances. But where's the altar call? And the thing is that the church has to understand is there's your harvest. They're coming out of these concerts now ripe and ready. They have questions that they want answered and to have a better understanding. So instead of criticizing the man, let him do what his role is, and the church must then do their role and meet those young folks when they're coming out. So the next concert, what the church needs to do is stand outside wherever the concert is, ready to receive and share the gospel of Jesus Christ with all those coming out, not to criticize the man. You do your part, let us do our part. And together with God, then that's what the kingdom is all about. But we've got to do our part.
Right.
You know what gets me, when they have a situation at a school, just say Moreno Valley, a 13-year-old got killed. They want to pray for a couple of days and whatnot. It's peaceful for those couple of days. Why don't they pray all the time? You know, that gets me. Everything that happens, I know when they had the wildfire, the governor said, the mayor said, well, we're going to pray that it doesn't spread. Well, if you start praying all the time, maybe it wouldn't be a fire, you know? The power of praying.
Yeah, a lot of people unfortunately don't reach to go to praying until they're at a desperate or fiery level beneath themselves that they can't even imagine. Just pleading God when you should never plead because he's always going to be as is and do as what's needed when he sees so. So, I mean, it's just really interesting. And you're totally right, Pastor, like to stand outside the concerts when they come out and just pass out flyers and just be like, hey, you might enjoy this. Like, it's key marketing to get more people to come into your congregation so they could even have a broader perspective and open their consciousness to a level of where they can make their reality what they want it to be, and truly fire that off. Because I always say, I think I may have said it before, but as it comes to like church, like a lot of people aren't just like, all right, I'm going to go to church, you know what I'm saying? Right. Especially when you're young. Like, just like,
not in California, not in Los Angeles, maybe in the South, in Texas. Yes.
Depending on your prior experiences, you know, you may or may not even be about it. So it's just like really, truly opening yourself enough to first build a spiritual relationship with God. And once you open yourself to that, then you'll be open to understanding the different segments and different religions. And if you want to go into religion, I just say keep it spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Because that covers all the bases.
Yeah, read the Bible to your kids. Go over some Bible verses so they can, you know, just share that word with them. What's in the Bible? What's it say in the Bible? You know, is this person singing? What is he singing? Is it in the Bible? Can I relate to it or stuff? You know, you get kids kind of confused a lot.
Yeah, because practically it sounds good. What we're saying sounds good. But what we're saying here, the bottom line, what we're saying here, it starts right here.
Yeah.
It starts with a pastor that's able to look at it from all perspectives and say, look here, we don't need that. We got the Bible there. We know what the Bible says, okay? And how do we reach people and have them even crack the Bible open?
Application.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How do we live this life? How do we go through these different scenarios?
Set examples.
Without having to carry a Bible. Okay, hold on one second. Let me go find it. Okay, what's the word say on that one there? Do you don't always have that?
I meant just, you know, in the family.
Right.
In the family, you can share the Bible with your kids. That's what I meant. Not take it out in community because you'll run people away, but sharing the word, you know, Bible study with your kid, Sunday school, getting your kid involved in the little kid Bible, you know.
In a perfect world, that sounds so nice.
Yeah, I know.
It's simple. You got to live it.
Yeah, you got to live it.
That's what it is. You got to live it.
Right.
It's what you got to do. You know, even when we're talking about prayer, the thing is this, is that, you know, we as a church, that's what we always say. Something goes wrong, well, let's pray about it. I'm all about the power of prayer. And I believe in the power of prayer.
Yes.
But my Bible tells me that every time Jesus prayed, there was an action. Prime example is that, you know, the little boy came with the people were hungry.
Right.
Yeah, all he had some fish and a little bread.
Right.
Not enough to feed everybody.
Yeah.
Jesus prayed, but then there was an action, which was everybody got fed.
Right.
You can't keep praying with no action.
Yeah, you got,
There's got to be some action after you pray.
Right.
So if I'm praying, somebody is hungry, and I'm saying, well, you know what, let me just pray for you. Well, they still going to be hungry after you pray for them. There's got to be some action. Give them some food to eat, something. And so those are the kind of things that we've got to do. We've got to have prayer with action. And that's why the church, people have kind of walked away from it. Because we're up here in the clouds and we're not practical where what's going on.
Right.
Feed. I mean, that's what Total was all about. I mean, the man who started this whole program, he saw the fact that kids in Uganda were dying. AIDS was killing them left and right. And so what he said is, well, you know what? He started with one small house.
Right.
He took 8 kids in. A widow and 8 kids is what started with Total that now has thousands and thousands and thousands of kids in this program. It was one man that decided that I'm not just going to be a church anymore. I want to do something to change my community.
Right.
And that's why I'm so connected to Total, because I believe this is what we ought to be doing here in Los Angeles. This is what we should be doing. Connect with the people and what's going on.
Right.
I had a woman across the street today. She's been calling the church every day. Every day. Pastor, they won't let me out. And I said, they won't let you out. Where are you? I'm in a convalescent hospital. And they won't let me out. I don't understand why they won't let me just go to church. It's across the street. I can see you. I can hear you. But I can't come into the church.
Oh, my God.
So today I went across the street, found out what was going on. They explained to me that, you know, the doctor's notice won't let her come across. So I said, you know what? You can't come across. But guess what?
We can come in.
I can come in.
Yeah, that's right.
I said, is there anybody praying with you? No. I said, well, I'll pray with you right now. I said, have you had communion? Well, I can give you communion.
Right.
And I can come to you on a regular basis, even if you can't come to me. See, it shouldn't stop us. It shouldn't stop us from doing what God has called us to do. You can't come to me, but guess what? I'll come to you.
Right.
See you tomorrow.
Right. No, that's good. Because there was a time, I think there were groups in front of the church that were going to convalescent homes. And stuff.
Right.
I don't hear about that anymore.
As a little kid, we used to do it too.
Yeah. My play dad, he's in a convalescent home right now and going through some changes. And moms is going through some changes too as far as their health, you know what I'm saying, in their late 70s and whatever. So I went by and saw him the other day, and it was like, wow, nobody was in there. And the people in there were just, you could just look at it. It just had that look, that million-mile stare.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They're just there doing time until they get it. And it was such a sad thing because I'm like, well, I remember, man, the churches, when we were young, we used to go out there and sing or bring them, some stuff and like that. And it doesn't happen anymore. So what do we need to do to wake up other churches, man? I mean, you can't just do it all yourself. You got 1 million churches on every corner next to liquor stores. What can we do?
We on Don Felipe, and on Don Felipe, we got 4 churches in one block. We got 2 churches or 3 churches that are meeting across the street from us in a hall.
Right.
And then we have our facility, and then we got a Catholic church on the corner. So we've decided that we're going to come together to accomplish things.
Okay.
Because it doesn't make sense for us to try to do it all by ourselves.
Good. Yeah.
So that's where it starts. It starts by churches getting off their island and coming to work together. Prime example, like I said, on Tuesday nights, we open up the doors of the church and let all from the community come. Does it matter that the director is part of the Agape center, the community that's there, the Bible church? No, it doesn't matter. They're singing about Jesus. Come on in.
Right.
They were so happy. Oh, they were happy. I thought they were members at your church. They said, "Oh no, the pastor. We know him well. He lets us come in." I said, "Well, there we go again. Crenshaw United Methodist Church. The pastor. Oh my God." They were so happy.
You just have to open the doors. That's the
thing. They were happy.
We've got to stop closing doors. The doors have to be open for people to feel welcome and to come. And when we begin to do more of that, you will then begin to feel the love of God to combat suicide and depression and all these things. I mean, I hear what you were saying, and the thing is true. How did you get through all that though? So you told all that story about how you were growing up. But how did you go from that to this?
Wow. Tell it, girl.
Well, it's been a long journey. It's a journey. And I'm not even there yet. You know what I mean? It's quite a journey. And honestly, I think I genuinely have like a happy soul, you know what I mean? But it was just so many exterior things that just made me feel less than, or made me feel like I wasn't enough, or made me push me down or try to beat me up, you know what I mean? So it's just so many things in life did not kind of work out work out for me. So it's just that just keeping an open, curious mind, optimism is key when it comes to, trying to persevere. I've just been through so many situations in my life and had to come through understanding by myself, because I didn't have a lot of friends, I didn't have really anybody to talk to. So it's just really having to just kind of drive through and find my own way in the midst of that, where I was able to, through my depression, I somehow, me and God clicked up, and we was just like, we doing this. And that's what kind of lands me here. So,
well, there it is. Yeah. There it is.
Finding God. So what did they say? Your best friend.
Well, in the church, what they say, she don't look like what she been through.
Oh yeah.
No, I really don't. You never tell.
That's right. That's right.
Those kids been through a lot, but it's just so nice to see them and their testimony, what they've been through. And they said only one person turned my life around. They looked up God. Oh God. And it was so powerful. The little 6-year-old, I mean.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so age has no, when you have that
you should go around talking to other classes, young classes or daycares or something that are open to it. And start talking to them.
That whole group needs to be out in California.
Because it's easier to open the mind or bring a different perspective to a young child than a grown adult who's been living these ways for a long time. And sometimes the children bring that aspect to their home. You never know. So if that's available for like young kids who have that awakening. And
I saw the young kids at the church. They were at your church. They were out when those young kids was dancing, they were out in the audience. They were dancing too. I mean, it was just a God all in the kids at that church and the people too. It was a good experience for me.
Well, life is tough. I mean, we got to understand that life isn't what we went through. I mean, when we were coming up, all of us, because it's all different. These kids are going through something totally different than what we've ever experienced growing up.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
Yes, it is. I mean, the whole scenario is different.
Yes.
I mean, look, the video games that these kids just they are masters of it. Do you know they have competitions where they pay millions of dollars for the winners?
Oh, yeah.
If we had something like that there, that'd be a great hustle.
I know.
But we were out there playing on the playgrounds. We were playing on the streets. We were doing everything. The hustle for us was picking up the pop bottles and the cans and whatever else in the neighborhood.
Newspaper route.
And for them 5 cents per. You can't even get a nickel for a gallon, for a pound nowadays of recycling. But see, these are the kind of things we did to keep it current, to keep money in our pocket. You know what I'm saying? But see, they don't understand that now, and they don't want to hear us tell them how it used to be. Well, you're old. Back in the day, I remember when we saw somebody who maybe was like 50 years old or whatever, then 60 maybe was old. Now, how old they got to be old? Look, she looks at me over there like, you old. See, we get along now. I know how to interpret the mind. Like, she is. I'm just saying, when we're about like
old is a state of mind.
Yeah, 50. Then the millennials looking like 50. That's old to them. Is that a little high? 40, right?
Stop putting me on the spot like that. I'm sitting at the table with these lovely people.
Thank you for the love.
And he just trying to try.
Thank you for the love. No, but it's good. No, but example, it's good to find a young lady that's focused, man, at a young age like this dude. It doesn't happen like that. Even when we were coming through, how many people did you go to school with that were focused like that? When we were going to college, how many people we have focused like that? And I mean, so it can still happen.
Sure can.
In the journey that you took. Put you on that pathway to where you found the correct way to get back. You said that you were fat and you were this and you were that. And I'm looking like, where?
You're so funny.
But it was a journey you had to go through to get like this.
Yeah.
You know, because if you had not said nothing, none of us would have known, would we? If we didn't know that you went through this dramatic experience, we wouldn't even know. That's drama and traumatic at the same time.
Dramatic.
You went through it. And still you stand.
Dramatic.
You know what I'm saying? Still you stand, right?
A new word here, right here tonight. A new word.
So yet and still you stand as an example to other millennials. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're coming with the show to talk about what you've been through and how you can get out like that. It's impossible to get these kids nowadays to listen to it. You're part of a television show we do, Millennial Journals with Linda.
Yes.
And I know she just wants to pull her hair out with these millennials. And so we had to find somebody who could help to translate it. So we got Phyllis, and you've helped that lady keep some hairs in her head.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've seen her frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this is what happens nowadays when you let kids run their own selves. When the latchkey came in, that was they were latchkey kids. We couldn't say that nowadays. Latchkey kids, welfare would be on you in no time, wouldn't it?
I know, right.
They were, you left them for an hour in the car? Oh, no, you go to jail for a year.
I know.
It's crazy. The whole paradigm shift has come down, Pastor.
But we can turn it around. Yep. We can turn it around with an action plan.
I hear you talking.
Yeah, we can turn it around. I turn it around in my program.
Just share your story. That's all it is. Share your story. Stop hiding behind whatever it is and share your story. Whatever you've gone through, you need to share it because somebody else is going through something similar. And when they hear your story and how you rose from the ashes, guess what? They then have hope for tomorrow as well.
Absolutely. I was actually in a service this past Sunday, and just what he was talking about, it just really hit me, like how powerful words really are. Yes. Like, I know that, but like, it's just like, when you say them out loud, that's energy being put out into the universe too, so you can manifest whatever you want as long as you put action afterward. You know
there
what
you
I mean?
Gotta put some action.
That it was just really crazy to just realize how powerful that is and how so many people may not have been in the exact situation, but they can relate so well and whatever they're also gone through or going through at the time. It's very interesting to see. But what I do want to bring light to is the fact that all these wounds like that have gone on within our society, within political matters, everything else, all the darkness that's coming out is coming out. So the light is shining on it. You know what I mean? So say this time, I don't know, next century or next year or whatever, something brighter will come out of all the situations that we see are coming to the surface at this time, which is, I try to keep it positive, you know what I mean? Because there's so many dark matters in this world right now, you know, like just to try to, you know, bring some understanding that there is light coming out of all this darkness that's happening. That's for sure.
Now,
you are the light.
Absolutely.
But see, sometimes, there you go. Like, sometimes you got to go into the darkness with your light. Now, this weekend, when you went to the event you went to, and you've been working with some of the people that your peers that are in the life, whether it be the rap game or whatever game, I know that the darkness is very prevalent there. And I know it's a dark hole to go through there. But as a young believer and a light shiner, how is that affecting you? I mean, I know you've got to feel some way, bringing that light into the darkness, and you're supposed to act some way because you're in the game, but how's that experience?
That's what some people get confused. I don't act some type of way. I just do me.
Say that again.
And
say that again.
When I do me, that's what works best for me. I can't speak for anybody else. You know, I hear a lot of people around me talking about competition and, oh, did you hear that just dropped? Oh, did you see that? Oh, what you going to do to like level up? And I'm just like, well, I'm not leveling up on anything but myself, honey. Like, I can't be worried about the last one or the next one or whatever else, because this is my journey, and what we planning here, God, is between you and I. Like, you know what I mean? So, but I mean, especially when I moved out here, a lot of people just try to stress to me like the music industry is the devil's industry, and you know, different things like that. And it's just like, yeah, I hear you, and you know, I feel like my whole family was probably scared the fact that like I'm moving across the country by myself. Oh my God, you know what I mean? So I mean, like I heard so many times, like don't make me come out there and snatch your butt up. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it wasn't so funny. I just have a laser sharp eye when it comes to getting what I want out of here, and when I vowed to God that we were going to go on this journey together, He said, "I got you." Right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need to hop on no poles. I don't need to hit no corners. I don't need to do anything like that in order to survive out here. I don't need to hug up to some man and act like I love him because I need some money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to do that because God got me. You know, and I feel like it's a huge misconception, and people believe what they want to believe off of their own perception. So it's that's kind of really sad, because they'll force that energy upon you, and it's just like, oh well, I don't get it because you should think like this, and that's how you should move, and it's like, no, I got this. You know what I'm saying? You do your job. I got my job. You know what I mean? So they definitely say it's a crazy industry. I've just been blessed enough to really come in tune with some really great people. And so I can do what I got to do out here. You know what I mean? In terms of achieving my goals and doing what I desire and fulfilling my soul purpose of life. You know, so I mean, I know for facts that I'm just walking in my purpose, and what I feel called to do in this lifetime, and I just want everyone to do the same for themselves, because when you do, you make this earth a better place, and your life the happiest that you can ever not even imagine. So.
That's a good thing. That's what you talk about. That's what you talk about in your church purpose. I can see you're purpose driven. And so that's got to be a very important thing in your underlining messages, right?
Of course, it is. You got to know your purpose. But a lot of times we don't know our purpose. I am so glad to hear that this young lady knows her purpose. And that she's walking in that authority. And that's the problem. Too many young folks don't know what their purpose is. We're just walking zombies, not knowing what we're supposed to do or what we're called to do. And therefore we wind up walking into walls and everything else. But when you know your purpose, you can see where you're going.
No, that's a good thing, to being able to see where you're going.
Stay in your own lane.
I like to see where I'm going.
These people in the movies that drive backwards and whatever, that's stunt drivers. Folks believe that. They done practiced for years, and you don't know how many cars they've wrecked and how many bones they've broken to get like that. You know, to get the movie. It's only in the movie. When you do it as practicality, motions, then you got to do it the right way. So, you know what? Time flies when you're having fun. So I want to go around right quick and let everybody give their information on how to catch up with you. Start with Miss Phyllis.
My name is Phyllis McNeil. I am the founder of the Straight Talk program. You can call me. My office number is 951-272-5747.
Pastor Royce Porter, Crenshaw United Methodist Church. You can catch me at 3740 Don Felipe Drive every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. where worship is live and true.
Oh, man, I love that, man. That was smooth, wasn't it?
Yes.
Now Miss Von True talking about True.
Right. So funny. Yeah, Von True here. So you can go ahead and catch me on Instagram or what's it called? Facebook at VON.TRUE, that's Von True, or on my website where you could also find those tickets to the event that I'll be performing live on Saturday, November 9th. At Dame Dash Studios in Burbank. It's going to be live. It's on television. It'll be shown on his Dame Dash Studio network during a comedy showcase. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That's www.bontrue.com. Check it out.
I love it. Well, I'd like to appreciate, Lee. Thank you guys for taking some time and letting us into your living room, your kitchen, your bedroom, wherever you're there watching us. I hope you'd enjoy the show. I told you we're going to bring you something real good. We've got some upcoming projects that we're going to do. If you want to catch up on some of our old shows, get with us on 4 Point Media, LLC, FOURPOINT Media, MEDIA, LLC. You'll see some of our old shows. You'll see Von True with her show that she does there, a couple of shows on television, and then she does this show. She's starting one on Friday, coming up on Fridays. And then we got Phyllis is doing some things out there. Catch up with her on her number. Pastor Porter doesn't know. He's going to do some shows, too. See, he just don't know what I got going on. And then also, I'd like to thank...
Watch out now.
I'd like to thank Dr. Angie for coming down. She's going to be joining us, so we take that in prayer that she'll be joining us on the doctor show on the Health from the Inside Out with Dr. Kelberman, and just learning some great thing about staying healthy. And she does a lot for our community. So you'll be able to meet her coming on Thursdays, Lord willing, the creek don't rise. So until next time, when we meet again, remember, if you put God first, everything else will follow. This is D-Nice, and we'll see you next time. God bless.
Heaven must have known that this day would surely